With the state of the world right now, it's been difficult for me to find motivation to be creative. But there is one thing that got me out of my creative slump, at least for now, is gyarus.
What do you mean by that?
Wait, that just makes me sound like a perverted old man. Let me explain. There's something oddly charming seeing a character wearing bright pastel colors being the leading ladies that just brightens up my life. It started with my dress up darling, and well, one thing led to another. Here I am talking about gyarus in anime, especially in this new generation of anime. And for those that don't know what a gyaru is, well, here's a very brief explanation. It is a Japanese subculture, specifically with middle to high school girls. They're usually pretty fashion forward, wearing bright colors, makeup, jewelry, and being very feminine. In anime, they're usually depicted as such, but the usual giveaway is the leg warmers they wear as a visual shorthand, usually accompanied with some kind of hair accessory. Another indicator is them shown having tan skin that's artificially done with bronzers or tanning it themselves, but that's usually more associated with gangoros, and well, there's many other subcategories that falls under the gyaru umbrella, which is something I am very underqualified to talk about, but I hope you get the idea. The closest comparison I can make for Western audiences that's watching this right now is the girly pop look. So think Swiftie and very early Katy Perry. I think you get the idea, but let's get back on topic. Gyarus have been in anime for a while, as background characters, secondary or supporting characters, but not always as leading ladies. There are anime that revolves around them as leads, for example, Citrus and Hajimete no Gal. Citrus is an interesting anime, but the concept was not well executed, and you can do much better for a Yuri anime. As for Hajimete no Gal, it was pretty mid, let's be real, and most people were watching it for, well, you know, and there were much better anime for that anyways. Gyarus have mostly been seen as love interests in recent years, usually showing the social dynamics between the two characters. A popular girl with an unpopular guy, and the situations they get into. This is where My Dress Up Darling kind of flips the script and has one of the best modern romance stories that really understands anime culture in the modern age. Marin Kitagawa is an otaku that just happens to be a gyaru. She's an incredibly likable character that you just can't help but love. For the guys, come on, she's a anime nerd that cosplays and works as a model. A total package for us. And the girls, she shows them that anime is for everyone, even for gyarus or whatever you choose to identify as. You don't need to be ashamed of it. She shows her nerd cred very frequently, from defending her anime fandom, the merch she has in her room, and even owning a Heikao sweater. She's more than just a pretty face. Marin has an incredibly infectious energy that just brings a smile to your face, with her love for her favorite anime characters, and how she wants to do them justice when she cosplays them. Wanting to capture their aura and be in character when she's putting on the cosplay. It's not just a costume for her, she's honoring them by cosplaying them. I think any anime fan who has cosplay can relate. You're cosplaying that character because you love that character and, in a way, want to be them. Imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery. Without going into too much spoilers, my favorite story arc in My Dress Up Darling is when Marin and Gojo, our leading man, spent the night together at her house. Marin, believing that Gojo was about to take her to Bone Town, and all he wanted to do was stay up and game. And I suppose it's good to know that I can find some nighttime enhancements next to the energy drinks at a Japanese convenience store. The series is incredibly endearing and fairly progressive, with good messaging on being an anime fan and hobbies that shouldn't be limited to based on who you are. If you're passionate about something, then embrace it, and don't be ashamed of it. Marin embracing her fandoms, and Gojo with his love of his craft, and that cosplay is accessible to everyone. The anime has some banger music, and one of them became a meme for a short while. And it's not surprising to see so much anime merch of her, fan-made or not, everywhere at conventions for a while. She is just very likable, she's cute as hell. And honestly, I am not ashamed to admit that I own a Marin Kitagawa figure. Yeah, this is a little quick unboxing of this figure that I have for Marin, and yeah, let's unbox her. Oh, look at that! And yeah, that's actually pretty good attention to detail, if I'll be honest. And it even has a little cushion where her butt sits. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Her leg goes like this. There we go. Look at that. And now she's fully unboxed and at home. Mother's Basement did a video on My Dress Up Darling some years back, and I think a lot of his points still holds. The final translated volume of the manga dropped in early April, and I have no doubts in my mind there will be a final season of the anime announced sometime in the future. But as of writing of this video, nothing has been announced. Before moving on to the next anime I want to talk about, I want to very quickly mention Please Tell Me Galko-chan. It's a series that features a gyaru, Galko-chan, and her friends, Ochako and Ojo. It's a slice-of-life comedy that's entertaining and also has some very progressive messaging in some of the episodes, such as body positivity and how you shouldn't separate yourselves into different cliques. And if you haven't heard of it, it's not surprising. Seeing how the creator of this series was arrested in 2021 for importing CSAM, citing he wanted to acquire photos of children that can't be acquired in Japan. Yikes. So, yeah, fuck that guy. Why did I bring this up? To raise awareness, and a part of me have a very soft spot for it, even knowing its legacy and its history and who it's associated with. But that's my thoughts on it, so take it for what it's worth. Let's move on. You and I Are Polar Opposites is an anime that didn't get too much attention, but I felt like it was a sleeper hit that just got buried in the other great animes of that season. But it is a slice-of-life romantic comedy that has a great cast that you can't help but love and really enjoy. I was introduced to it by some friends and I was instantly hooked. The leading lady, as you guess, is a gyaru that is a lot more comedic in nature. Miyu Suzuki is a dork, a very lovable dork that isn't afraid to look stupid. And she's a different type of leading lady than most characters. She's hyperactive, but isn't to the point where she's bouncing off the walls like a kid off their ADD medication. Nope. She's just full of life and just comes out in bursts. She has an incredibly funny expression that just brings joy to my life. What makes Suzuki so likable is how she doesn't take herself too seriously. She's friendly, and every time she smiles and makes funny faces, intentional or not, just gets you to laugh with her, not at her. And our leading man, Yusuke Tani, is the quiet type who speaks very little, but is straightforward with how he's feeling. He doesn't mince words and can come off as a bit cold, but he's a good guy at heart. He opens up slowly with Suzuki and his friends. While he isn't too expressive, it really means something when he is expressive, and it's impactful. He doesn't come off as the edgy edgelord type, which would have killed the vibes. He's just a guy who keeps himself, but still cares about his friends, and just might be a little too thoughtful about how people feels, leading him to overthink the situation sometimes. And at least that's how I see him. It's fun seeing them develop as a couple, from the start of the season to the end. We see how Suzuki and Tani feel about each other's quirks and love each other's differences. It's not really a spoiler, but having them get together early on really reminds you of how it was like when you were dating at their age. And if you didn't, hey, that's alright, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a great supporting cast in the show that sometimes takes center stage on some episodes. You see two characters develop a friendship that feels organic, like talking to a friend that you can confide in. And there's another romance blossoming in the background between a very outgoing and funny boy and an introverted girl with a lot of social anxiety. It's like opposites attract or something. Okay, I'll see myself out. But seriously though, You and I Are Polar Opposites does a great job of showing you how modern teenagers act. For the dub, they use modern slangs that's easy to understand even for an old head like me. Hell, the opening sequence shows them filming a TikTok, and it's one of the most beautifully animated sequences I've seen. There's a reason why you should always ignore the skip intro button. This is it. It's a good-hearted show that does warm your soul. All the episodes are currently available on the usual streaming platforms. You know the ones. It's a breezy watch that you can do on a weekend. It's also a completed manga series, with the last translated volume released earlier this year. I highly recommend it, and a second season is set to air in Japan sometime in July, so it's a very good time for you to catch up on it before it drops. So yes, this is a massive glowing endorsement of this series. Before we go into our last segment, please drop a like and comment on this video to help this video grow. And I want to hear your thoughts on gyarus and anything else we talked about on this video. It might help motivate me to be more regular with my uploads. Thanks! And our final gyaru honestly doesn't need any introduction. Momo Ayase from Dandadan. I don't think there's anything to say about the anime itself, as it is one of the more popular anime of this season and anime cycle. If you haven't watched it, please do. It's a feast for the eyes and it's a really fun anime with a banger soundtrack. Momo breaks the mold when it comes to gyarus. She's a leading character in a shonen anime who's a bit of a tomboy and can throw some serious hands. She doesn't take shit from anyone and is an incredibly kind person overall. She is in a very exclusive club of female leads in shonen anime, joining Jolene Kujo, Maka Albarn, and Mikoto Mikasa, and others. She is so cool that it feels like she's one of the guys, and I often forget that Momo is a girl, but it is cute to see her girly side on the rare occasion that she does show it. It's a bit of a tsundere overall, but that's what makes her so likable. Her being in a maid outfit is pretty much her peak girly look as far as I'm concerned. Her fashion sense is also on point, usually going for a more streetwear style that's clearly telling the audience that the author is in tune with modern fashion and know what's up with the youth. Besides being drippy, she has an incredibly cool aura about her every single time she's on screen, especially when she's fighting. And I know the term aura farming is overused these days, but there's something about seeing a girl in a pink school uniform kicking some alien and yokai ass that really does make her look incredibly fucking awesome. Momo is a welcome addition to the anime gyarus and welcome addition to the shonen scene. I think she'll be around and talked about for a while as one of the all-time greats in both discussions. As we start to wrap this up, I think we're going to see more gyarus in anime. Currently on Crunchyroll, the anime, Gals Can't Be Kind to Otakus, is currently airing, and while I haven't started to watch it, it does look pretty good, and I might give it a shot. I'm still currently on a gyaru kick right now. One thing I do want to put over is how good the dubs are for all three of these animes. You can watch it however you like, of course, but I really think watching a dub is the way to go. Amelie really does a great job of voicing Marin. Being a longtime anime fan herself, she really gets it, and I'm not just saying that because I've been a fan of her music. Suzuki's voice actress, Celeste Perez, gives the character so much energy and really delivers on the role. Suzuki's bubbly personality energy really comes out when she's performing, and the same can be said for the other characters as well. And finally, Momo's dub actress, Abby Trott, also gives a great performance. She gives Momo a sense of being a badass while coming off as a girl boss. And a big shout out to AJ Beckles, someone who's new on the scene and has a promising career for a talent so young in the game. And it's also great to see the discourse between dubs versus sub isn't as big of a deal anymore in the anime community. I remember it being all people talked about for a very long time, and honestly, it gets very old really fast. We need to be more positive in the anime community and embrace, the differences that we have as fans and celebrate what we have in common, and that is the love for anime. If you made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you very much for watching it all the way through. I know I'm not as active as I would like to be, that's just life sometimes. But for those that have stuck around this channel for as long as you have, thank you so much. And I hope it doesn't take me too long to make another video for you. I really do enjoy this. And as always, thank you for stopping by the Idol Room.